Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal. Today, let's talk about international mutual funds. And every time I wanted to study this category, I've always been confused by so many options, and they were all not classified or subclassified properly. So I decided to do it myself. So this is a list of international mutual funds, and I've classified them as different types of international mutual funds. So obviously, an international mutual fund is something that invests most of its stocks predominantly in stocks or bonds outside of India, and you can classify them into at least three types of funds. One is the diversified international fund, which means that it will invest in different countries around the globe, as well as there will be a diversification in the sector of the stocks. And that would be the kind of fund that an Indian investor should be looking to invest, and not just some US equity fund. Then there is a regional fund or a country-wise fund. So these funds, international funds, will invest in, let's say, South East Asian countries or the ASEAN countries, or in China. They will invest in Europe. They'll invest in USA, something like that. Japan, Brazil. So you have specific geographic location focused international funds. Then the third type of international fund would be a thematic international fund. That is, they will be investing in agricultural stocks, mining stocks, or maybe commodities and so on. So in some international funds, you have a combination of two. They will invest in a particular type of stock in a particular from a particular type of from a particular geographic location. So from a particular place and a particular type of stocks. That would be a kind of again not of not useful for a proper portfolio management. Ideally, the fund should not be from the US or Europe and so on. It should have a very good geographic mix, even if it is not what can I say, ideally 25% Europe, 25% USA, 25% Asian. That kind of mix may not be possible. You can have, even if it's a global fund, it will have a dominance in the US stocks, but at least it will have some kind of balance and not too much of concentration risk. The problem with people who want international funds is they just want US equity, and that's just stupid, because they're looking at the past returns and they just want returns. They don't want diversification. I mean, you have to be very clear. If you want returns, you chase after US stocks or some other stocks. But if you want a diversified portfolio, then it has to be global diversification and not just one country, adding one more country to your portfolio. So there are the other point is that many of these funds are fund of funds. That is, they will invest in some other international fund, or few funds will invest directly in the international stocks. However they do, the taxation is as per a non-equity fund. And as of July 2020, there are like 39 international funds, and we're going to classify them like what I just mentioned. So the thumb rules are: avoid buying. Oh, there goes the, I don't know why this thing keeps happening. My QuickTime keeps freezing. So avoid buying what is that, a specific country specific fund. That is, don't just buy US based stocks. Stick to a proper global portfolio that will lower risk, and please recognize diversification is for lower risk. And you must always understand that you need to invest at least 20% in such a global fund. Otherwise, small 5%, 10% exposure is a useless amount of number. I've actually done a study. You can have a look at it. And diversification, again, I'm saying, is not for higher returns. It's for lower portfolio volatility, and it must be rebalanced from time to time. You should not worry about taxation and exit load at the time of rebalancing. So we will be looking at detailed reviews of shortlisted global funds, but this is the full list. I'm just going to give you some sampling. I'm not going to read all of that. This is a full list of the funds without any classification. You can see the link in the post. I've posted it. I think I've done it on community. Did I forget? I think I forgot. I will just post it now. So you have USA based fund, one from Edelweiss, two from Edelweiss. One is a technology fund, other is a value fund, Franklin Feeder US fund, ICICI Blue Chip Equity, Motilal S&P 500. Then you have the N100, the Nasdaq 100, the Nippon US Equity Opportunities Fund. Then you have emerging markets like Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So that's HSBC, Edelweiss, Kotak. Then you have Europe again from Edelweiss, Invesco feeder, Franklin feeder, then a PGIM feeder. Then you have Asian funds, Franklin Asian Equity, Edelweiss ASAN Equity, HSBC Global Consumer Opportunities, Nippon India Japan Fund, the Hong Kong, what is it called? The Hang Seng Bees or the Hong Kong Index. Wow, my spelling is bad. Edelweiss China Fund. So you have all these. Then you have a single Brazil fund that invests in that part of the country. Then you have thematic international funds. You have the real estate fund, agricultural fund, world energy fund, mining fund. Then finally the proper global international funds. This is the category that an investor should focus on, and this is where I'm going to focus my reviews on in the coming weeks. So you have Aditya Birla International Equity Fund, DSP Global Allocation Fund, and then you have US flexible equity. It'll have a dominant US 70% US exposure, but it can also invest the rest elsewhere. ICICI Pru Global Advantage Fund, ICICI Pru Global Stability Fund, two of them. Then you have Invesco Feeder Global Equity Income Fund, Sundaram Global Brand Fund, Principal Global Opportunities Fund, the PGIM Global Equity Opportunities Fund. So these are the 9 funds which we will take a look at in future reviews. So you can have a look at the article and see the full list. Thank you. Bye-bye.